a city with 2,000 years of history. Today, it's just a backdrop. The real story is the love and smiles within our family. I put a lot of heart into this video to share my hometown with friends all over the world and to keep these precious memories for Jiahao. Hi everyone, I'm Yaya. After finishing breakfast today, I suggested the whole family go for a trip to Shouxian Ancient City. And so, Mom is preparing food for everyone. Namfen is preparing Jiahao's essentials for going out. Everything is prepared. Let's head out. Downstairs, Grandpa opened Jiahao's stroller. This stroller is very useful. It can push Jiahao to save his energy and keep him from running around. It also carries all the gear we bought. Arrived at the bus stop. It has been a very cold winter here until now. Today the sunshine is exceptionally good. Everyone has a sun hat ready. Here comes the bus. Let's get on. Mom is 72 now. In China, bus rides are free for seniors over 70. They just tap their senior cards. Since Dad is 69, he still pays. He covered the fare for the three of us. The total was 2.7 RMB, which is only about 40 cents in US dollars. Jiahao is fascinated by everything passing by outside. Namfen sat down next to me and spent the whole ride playing with him. I'm sure some of you are wondering, why take the bus instead of driving? It is more convenient to drive when you have seniors and a child. The real reason is, I still need 2 months before I can legally drive in China, even though I already obtained an international driver's license in Southeast Asia. The bus has finally arrived. Getting off now. Let's start today's adventure. Jiahao just got off the bus. He is still so curious about the world. But that didn't last long. After only a few steps, this little lazybones wanted his stroller. Today's sightseeing plan is for a full day. Let's let him save his energy for later. Grandpa pretended the stroller was too heavy to push and picked Jiahao up. Jiahao loves helping to push the stroller. But when he realized how easy it was to move, he cried to get back in. Grandpa had to put him back inside. This little guy is way too smart. With seniors and a toddler, we have to slow down. It is important to drink some water and stay hydrated. In the distance, those yellow flowers are rapeseed. They are used for making oil, and they look so beautiful. As we walked along, we found a traditional style cottage. Namfen ran over first. Jiahao is looking all around with so much curiosity. Grandpa and Grandma are also trying to teach Jiahao to recognize these foods. It is a great way for him to learn new things. Jiahao quickly locked eyes with a big goose again. He ran to its side, only to discover his mom was right behind him.
Mama呢？耶！妈在哪里？嘴巴，眼睛呢？对，鼻子呢？它的鼻子呢？这来，真可爱。抱抱它，抱抱，哎呀，拜拜，你小拜拜。
After saying goodbye to the goose, Jiahao found a new target. An ancient bronze cauldron with small flames underneath. He ran over as fast as he could. Grandpa is showing him more new things again. He loves teaching Jiahao about the world. Look, we found a traditional Chinese popcorn machine. It uses high pressure to pop the corn. It is very old school and so cool to watch. I decided to wait until it pops with a loud bang. We have been waiting for ages. Here comes the big bang. Let's see that big bang again. Slow motion. This brings back so many memories. It was my favorite snack growing up. One batch fills the bag perfectly. Dad is getting some for Jiahao now, just like he did for me when I was little. It is a big moment for Jiahao. His very first taste of this popcorn. He can hardly wait. Namfen is trying this popcorn for the first time as well.
米做的大米做的，真是好吃。
Look at that smile. Jiahao is eating and laughing at the same time. He is definitely a big fan of this traditional treat. Namfeng wants to get a photo of Grandpa, Grandma, and Jiahao together. But Jiahao will not look at the camera. I have a secret weapon. I am holding the popcorn right next to the lens to make him look. Here are the results. Oh boy, not a single photo has all three of them looking at the camera at the same time. After taking the photos, it is time to move on. Grandma is getting older, and her legs are not as strong as they used to be. Namfen is right there to lend a hand and help her stand up. It is so sweet to see them supporting each other. Jiahao loves playing with a little fish toy during bath time. This one is covered in so many colorful fish. Sure enough, his attention is completely captured by them. Jiahao just pointed at the blossoms on the tree, and Grandpa immediately scooped him up for a closer look. Grandpa truly adores him so much. There are so many delicious snacks along the street. If you ever visit this place, you absolutely must try all the different kinds of tofu. It is what this area is famous for. 10 minutes into our video, and we have finally reached the ancient city wall. I made this for 2 reasons. First, to share our life with friends all around the globe. And second, so that many years from now, Jiahao can look back and see these precious memories. Jiahao is such an eager little helper. He has to be involved in everything. If we do not let him help, he actually starts to cry. Grandpa, Grandma, and Nangfang are totally helpless against his determination.
真棒啊，真棒！对，好，好，加油，加油，加油，加油，加油！
Last snack break before we head inside the walls. Jiahao is our dedicated trash collector today. He insists on taking every single piece to the bin himself. He takes his job very seriously. If we do not let him do it, he will cry. He really will throw a big tantrum. To be honest, I am the disciplinarian, so I'm usually at the bottom of his list. Usually, everyone else gets the snacks, and I get nothing. But look at this. He actually gave me a whole banana today. My heart is melting. This is a huge win for Dad. I brought my drone along today to capture the full scale of this incredible place. While the family takes a rest, I am going to focus on the magnificent east gate of the Shouxian Ancient City wall. Officially called Bao'en Gate. It is one of the 4 massive original gates still standing. Its name, Bao'en, beautifully means welcoming the morning sun. In Chinese culture, this symbolizes auspiciousness and good fortune arriving from the dawn in the east. Seeing this history from the air is absolutely breathtaking. Finally, the moment has arrived. We are stepping through the ancient archway and entering the city.
葫芦压的印子看见没有啊？看看，压的好深。这个城墙呀，2000多年了。看看，而且这城墙，过去呀2000多年了。
Walking through these massive walls, you can almost feel the weight of 1,000 years of history. It is like traveling back in time.
看这个人子，看过去。
Grandpa is pointing at the Wanquan, a clever defensive enclosure. In ancient times, it was designed as a deadly trap. They would lure the enemies inside this courtyard, then lock all the gates, with nowhere to run. Soldiers stationed on the walls above would rain down arrows on them from every side. Look at these retro tricycles. They used to be powered by pure muscle, but nowadays it is all about the battery. Perfect mix of the old and the new right here in the streets. This is not a museum, it is a real home. Young people look toward the new skyline outside. But the older generation finds peace within these ancient walls. Here, everything they need is within reach. From the local shops to the familiar faces. In Shouxian, history is not just preserved. It is lived every single day. Mom and her sister are regulars here. They love visiting the ancient city together. Since it is lunchtime, Mom is taking us to one of her favorite spots. The shop where Mom usually eats is closed today. So, I just picked a random shop with a tiny entrance. I saw an ad at the door for Nangfang's favorite grilled vermicelli. The heat is intense. Mom and I decided to try the famous local cold noodles. We really need something light and crisp today. This chill mian pi looks like exactly what we need to cool down. Nanfen's grilled vermicelli is also served now. Mom also bought some boiled eggs. 4 portions of food and a bottle of Fanta. The total was 35 RMB, which is about $5. After finishing the meal, Jiahao was the first to rush out of the restaurant. This is Shouxian's most famous snack, called Da Jiu Jian. Legend says it once saved an emperor's life. They are only 3 RMB each. We got 4 flavors, durian, strawberry, and the traditional Atlantis. It is a bit oily, but the flaky texture is incredible. For just 9 RMB, about $1.3. We plan to go to a pavilion to rest. The observant grandpa found that Jiahou had already fallen asleep. Grandma is blaming herself. Saying that we were just busy chatting and didn't notice that Jiahou had already fallen asleep. We reclined the back of the stroller, so Jiahou could sleep more comfortably. We finally reached this little pavilion. It is time for some fresh fruit and snacks. Both Grandpa and Grandma have a lifelong habit of taking an afternoon nap. So we are taking a long break here to let them rest. Grandma was actually fast asleep, but she suddenly woke up with one thing on her mind: Jiahao's comfort. She realized his feet weren't in the best position and insisted on adjusting them so he could sleep more soundly. Everyone is asleep now. I adjusted Nanfen's head to make her comfortable, and now I can go out. I'm heading to the nearby Bao'en temple to film the local life and the atmosphere of the streets. Bao'en Temple, established during the Tang Dynasty. For over 1,300 years, the incense has never ceased to burn. Weathered red walls, ancient eaves, and 2 legendary ginkgo trees. They are the silent witnesses to the rise and fall of this ancient city. It is more than just a sanctuary, it is the heartbeat of local life. Amidst the rising smoke and slow-paced crowds, you'll find the quietest strength of Shouxian and its most authentic human touch. I came back just to get a huge shot of Jiahou sleeping. But surprise, he decided to wake up right then. Look at that completely dazed face. It is literally saying, "Who am I? Why am I? And what year is it?" 好好 I think his little sister needs a moment to reboot.
吃黄瓜，黄瓜。
还有，
吃行了，吃行了。
喝水吧。
行，妈妈啊，一口一口吃，妈妈吃，妈妈吃，妈妈吃。
He munches on it while staring at his surroundings. He is definitely still trying to figure out where he is.
自然醒的。
Now, it's time for the highlight of our day walking the ancient city walls. We're starting from the historic East Gate, stepping back in time. We'll follow these ancient stones all the way to the modern side of the city. As expected, Jiahou still insisted on climbing the steps by himself. He refuses any help as he makes his way up to the top of the city wall.
加油！
On top of the ancient wall, Grandpa couldn't wait to lift Jiahou up to see the world. With his tiny finger, Jiahou pointed out everything he recognized, sharing his little world with his grandfather. Nanfen stood quietly. She knows that truly integrating into a new culture takes time. But in moments like this, surrounded by family and history, she feels right at home. The south gate of Shouxian, known as Tong-fei Gate. Outside these walls lies the ancient battlefield of the famous Battle of Fei River. A masterpiece of defense, its silent moon dam has guarded against floods for centuries. Beneath these weathered bricks, the pulse of daily life never stops. Standing here, where the ancient world meets the modern. This is the soul of Shouxian. As our day comes to an end, Grandpa and Grandma give Jehovah the last treat a human swing with each holding a hand. Jehovah is completely addicted to the game. By the end, he's turned into a little rascal. He stopped walking. His feet just dragged while they pulled him along. This has been a record of our day in Shouxian. We hope you enjoyed it. If you like our stories, please subscribe to our channel. Your support is our biggest motivation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.